My favorite philosopher once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And what better way to examine life than by immersing yourself into cultures that push you out of your comfort zone? In a recent video I mentioned, and speaking of next year, starting next year, we're probably going to be international because I'm finally in the process of getting my passport. Well, it's finally here, my passport. With this little booklet, the whole world opens up to me. The truth is, the world is a massive place and life's kind of short. So as much as I want to see it all, time is limited. And that's why I made a list, a bucket list of things and places I have to see and have to experience while I still have time. So let's get started. Number 1 on our list is a place called El Nido in the Philippines. This is a beautiful tropical paradise that looks like something straight out of a fantasy movie. It's honestly the first place that inspired me to even start traveling the world in the first place. With its incredible limestone cliffs, its crystal clear turquoise water, hidden lagoons, pristine white sandy beaches. It's a geological masterpiece, honestly. I just want to experience it in person and just soak in the scenery and just bask in the beauty of nature at its finest. Jeez, this chair is noisy. Number 2 on the list is the Aurora Borealis. Now, if you know me in person, you know that I am not a fan of the cold. I actually get really cold. Naturally, I just run cold. So the idea of going into this Arctic place doesn't seem very fun to me. However, for a chance to witness the Aurora Borealis, I'm willing to turn to a popsicle. This ballad of colors happens when the sun's solar winds interact with the Earth's magnetic field, creating this otherworldly spectacle. And while I don't necessarily need a passport to go see it, because I could go to Alaska, there's places like Norway I could go and see it. But I think I might stick to Alaska just because there's some things I want to do in Alaska, like dog sledding. That sounds really cool. So I'm leaning towards Alaska. But yes, the Aurora Borealis is number 2. Number 3 on the list is Egypt. Now, ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with ancient Egypt. Movies like The Mummy and The Prince of Egypt, if you know, you know, gripped my young psyche. Now, I know modern Egypt is not the same as ancient Egypt, but to be able to see the pyramids and the Sphinx and other megalithic structures would be so unreal, so cool. And just to get a taste of the modern Egyptian culture with this vibrant scenes and all the food it has to offer. Of course, I mentioned food because I'm a foodie, but I would love to see all that. All the ancient stuff it has to offer and all the modern stuff it has to offer. I want to see both. I want to see it all. Number 4 on the list, I kind of lumped 2 places together because I want to visit them for the same reason. One is Italy, the other one is France. I am a certified 100% foodie. I love food. I will travel across the globe for a good meal. So to be able to visit the place that birthed the authentic pastas and pizzas and gelatos would be a dream come true. And at the same time, visit a place where it's like the hub of culinary excellence like France is known for. I'd be a fool not to want to go. Those 2 places I lump together solely just for the food. Number 5 on the list is Africa, specifically the Serengeti. If you had a childhood like me, then you grew up with the animated Lion King movies, not those abysmal CGI remakes that we have today. The opening sunrise is so iconic, and I know in real life it has to be just as, if not more beautiful than in the movies. The Serengeti is home to one of the most diverse ecosystems on the planet with lions, gazelles, cheetahs, all types of wildlife I would love to see in person. Actually, I would love to go there to take wildlife photography, almost like a real life Pokemon Snap. If you know, you know. Number 6, Antarctica. Now this is a very strange entry for me, especially If you recall a few entries ago, I don't like the cold, but there's something about this untouched icy desert that just calls me. It's like it's the final frontier on Earth, and it's just so mesmerizing. I would love to stand before those massive glaciers and do some wildlife photography with the penguins and the polar bears and see all that type of stuff and just bask in the icy ambiance that is Antarctica. Number 7 on the list is Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the tallest peak on the planet, and reaching its summit is an achievement of a lifetime. It kind of reminds you how small we really are in the grand scheme of things. We all live in reality, and the reality is my body was not built for high altitude hiking. So just being able to go to the base camp or being able to fly above it, but just being able to see majestic mountain would be a privilege. Number 8 on this list is more of an experience. It's backpacking Southeast Asia. I feel like backpacking that region of the world is kind of like a rite of passage for any traveler. Southeast Asia is full of adventure with bustling cities, tranquil village, and absolutely breathtaking landscapes. And all on a budget. Cheap food, hostels, transportation. You could easily spend like 20 or 30 bucks a day in these places. So whether it's exploring the ancient temples of Cambodia, the beautiful rice fields of Bali, or the turquoise waters like mentioned in the Philippines, all there to explore. Number 9 on this list is the Galapagos Islands. Now, as a science nerd, the Galapagos Islands are kind of like a biological museum. These islands are home to unique species that are found nowhere else on the planet, and they evolved specifically to fit their specific niche. It's the birthplace of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, and it makes it an evolutionary wonderland. As a student of science, I feel like it's a necessary pilgrimage to make. Last but not least, number 10 would have to be Japan. Now, growing up, I loved video games, and Japan is like the epicenter of the gaming culture. So visiting Japan would be pretty much like a dream come true. But beyond that, I've always had like a fascination with the architecture, the culture, the people. It all seems so effortlessly stylish. And don't even get me started on the food. I heard the sushi there is so fresh that it's kind of like a religious experience. And that's my top 10 bucket list destinations and experiences. The world is massive and very diverse and such a unique place, and I really want to see it all, or at least as much as I can. And hopefully I get to document all those experiences and share it with you guys as I continue to grow this channel. So maybe this is a little bit of a preview of what's to come. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.